This is Tom Fox. I'm the Compliance Evangelist, and I'd like to welcome you to the September edition of my year-long podcast series on creating a more effective compliance program. Each month during this year, I'm focusing on a different topic which will help you create a more effective compliance program. And for the month of September, I'm going to focus on innovation in compliance. First, a word from this month's sponsor, Oversight Systems.
Thanks, Tom, and thanks to everyone for joining us today. Oversight's artificial intelligence platform takes a comprehensive, multidimensional approach to identifying anomalies that are suggestive of bribery and corruption. Our analytics look across various dimensions such as employees, attendees, vendors, and countries over an extended time period. This enables us to identify employees exhibiting patterns of potentially improper behavior or collusion that are difficult to detect by auditing a single transaction at a time. Based on the analysis, employees or vendors engaged in risky behavior are presented in a risk-ranked format for easy examination. Remediation activities and the underlying root causes are automatically documented to drive continuous improvement. Oversight clients can easily demonstrate to the board, and if ever necessary to the regulatory authorities, that proactive monitoring of business transactions for anti-bribery and corruption risk is an integral part of company operations. With Oversight's Insights on Demand, you can have a best practice approach to identify possible violations in travel and entertainment and procure-to-pay programs. For more information, visit us at oversightsystems.com.
Innovation indeed. I hope you will join me for the entire one-month series on innovation. I'm going to take a look at artificial intelligence, social media, leadership, and structural innovations. I think you will find it a fascinating month, and at the end of the month, you will have multiple tools and techniques which you can utilize to make your compliance program not only more effective, but operationalized, more efficient, and helping you to create greater profitability for your organization. This podcast, 1 Month to a Better Compliance Program, is a part of the Compliance Podcast Network. Day 2, AI and Compliance, a New Business Advantage. Next, we consider the introduction of artificial intelligence, or AI, into the compliance profession and the compliance practice. A few pieces have claimed that AI is revolutionary and would change the face of compliance. I have news for such pontificators, as technology has been involved in compliance since the profession began in earnest with the implementation of the U.S. sentencing guidelines in 1992. One thing is certain, however, and that is technology will improve the efficiency of compliance and assist in the operationalization of compliance into the fabric of every business which embraces it. Paul Shoemaker and Philip Tetlock took a look at this issue in an article entitled Building a More Intelligent Enterprise, and they explained how businesses could blend technology-enabled insights with sophisticated understanding of human judgment, reasoning, and choice, which will provide them an advantage over their rivals. The compliance professional who incorporates these techniques into their company's compliance organization will not only improve their compliance program and move it forward, but make their company run more efficiently and, at the end of the day, more profitably. The reason is not simply that AI can make compliance more efficient, but in the knowledge economy, strategic advantages will increasingly depend on shared capacity to make superior judgments and choices. AI is a step which weds the human interaction and experiences with the data which is available to most every company, usually in its own internal information, which is generally in siloed verticals and not being used across the organization. The data can provide a foundation for operations research and forecasting models. When you couple this data with a growing understanding of human judgment, reasoning, and choice, which has provided insights into what humans do well or do poorly, you compare the best of these two seemingly disparate incongruities. Use this strategy in an area which will have the greatest benefit for your company. The starting point for becoming an intelligent enterprise is learning to allocate analytical effort where it will pay off the most. In other words, being strategic about the problems you decide to tackle head on. The sweet spot for intelligent enterprises is hard data and soft judgments can be productively combined. For the compliance professional, this translates into your greatest risk area. Consider the possibility that you can identify through forecasting what your highest risk might be, then use AI to more efficiently and accurately assess the risk, then tie both to an AI technology with the compliance subject matter expertise to manage that risk going forward. The key in such a scenario is aiding the compliance practitioner to avoid judgmental biases that often distort human information processing, and by recognizing the precarious assumptions on which statistical models sometimes rest. It means the analytical whole can occasionally become more than the sum of its parts. This means you can look critically at a variety of factors around compliance and where your compliance risks are the greatest. Most compliance practitioners rely only on the Transparency International Corruption Perception Index for a country's corruption ratings. While the TI-CPI is a good starting point, it is only that. A compliance analysis that an area is high, medium, or even low risk does not consider the starting assumption using the TI-CPI. Moreover, because this index has been used so long, compliance professionals are biased towards it and do not seek out other data which might provide a more nuanced approach. Another technique which I have been involved with is known as bootstrapping. Here, a group of subject matter experts would develop a model of possible risk which could be assessed with a large amount of data or other inputs. By modeling the expert's knowledge in risk areas, you can develop not only a more comprehensive risk forecast and assessment of risk, but it would also be more consistent, which would greatly assist in your planning and risk management process going forward. Bootstrapping is the most straightforward use of a type of AI technology, as it is a simple input-output approach to the modeling expertise without delving into the process models of human reasoning. Now consider how bootstrapping can be augmented by AI technologies that allow a far more complex relationship among variables drawn from human insights or mining big data sets. Consider the following example the authors used in their article. They asked a group of corn experts to rate 500 ears of corn to predict their eventual prices in the marketplace using a variety of factors. The researchers then created a simple scoring model based on cues that judges claimed were the most important in driving their own predictions. Both the judges and the researchers expected that the simple additive models would do much worse than the predictive models of seasoned experts. But to everyone's surprise, the models mimic the judges' strategy nearly always and always perform better than the judges themselves. Most of the factors were subjective, but that did not stop the model from being more efficient. The bootstrapping model works because it remains one of the most compelling demonstrations of the potential benefits of combining the powers of models and the human element, which is the value of expert intuition. There are certainly data points in the compliance realm which could be inputted and analyzed to determine if any compliance issues arise. But these inputs would also provide a company with a wealth of information on the internal efficiencies around sales and other corresponding business processes. The cognitive science revolution holds promise and challenge for business leaders. Obviously, that includes the compliance practitioner and most particularly the chief compliance officer. However, when a compliance function embraces the use of AI and embraces this human and technological approach for forecasting and risk assessment, then keeps improving the risk management process and techniques, it will create a sustainable business strategy and compliance and intelligence advantage over its competition. So what are today's 3 key takeaways? Well, first of all, understand that innovation in your compliance program is not new. It's something that's been required since at least 1992 with the onset of the U.S. sentencing guidelines. So it's been around for a while, and now we have the opportunity with technology to really exponentially increase your innovation. 2, and this is the one I find the most interesting, and it's around the knowledge economy. Artificial intelligence can help compliance in the knowledge economy. And this is going to be the most important economy going forward. Just as the 20th century was the hydrocarbon society, I think that the 21st century may well be the knowledge economy. Finally, AI and compliance will benefit the business going forward. I hope you've enjoyed day 2 in my 1-month series to innovation and compliance, and I hope you will join me tomorrow for day 3 of 1 month to innovation in compliance. Thank you for listening. This is Tom Fox again. I'd like to thank you again for listening to this episode of 1 month to more effective innovation and compliance. If you have listened to this podcast on iTunes, I hope that you would rate our podcast as would help in our rankings and help get the word out about the only monthly podcast series in compliance, which will help you create a better compliance program. Also, if you have any questions, please feel free to email me at tfox@tfoxlaw.com. This is Tom Fox. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.